Hi, I'm Kyle Swan with Web 2.0 Television, bringing you to the exciting world of drift racing. I'm Kyle Swan. I'm coming to you from Road Atlanta, Drift Atlanta. I'm here with one of the drivers for Rockstar Energy Drink, Dai from Japan. Dai?
Yes, hi.
Tell me a little bit about this drift racing. It's a new kind of sport that's just gotten into the States. How long have you been doing this?
I'm from Japan and I've been doing this like 10 years almost. But in the United States, it started like 4 years ago.
Now tell me, these cars are set up a lot different. I noticed, looking in here, the driver's side's actually on the opposite side than normal, and I'm sure the motors have been seriously tweaked out from regular stock cars.
Yeah, my car has like almost 500 horsepower, but pretty much other stuff is same as like any other racing car, like time attack car, like road race cars. It's not special for drifting that much.
I saw up front, is it turbo, nitrous?
It's turbo.
What type of car is this right here?
Oh, this is a 240XX Japanese version. It's called Sylvia. Right-hand drive and yeah, everything.
How long have you been racing for Rockstar?
It's year number 2 actually.
Year number 2. Now, is the season just now started? If somebody wanted to find out more about this kind of stuff, where would we go? What would we look at? And how long is the season going to last?
Okay. The season is just started like last month. This is like round 2, and we did like Formula D, right? So you have to check online like www.formuladcom, and it's gonna be five more rounds.
Is this going to be the only time it's here in Atlanta?
Yes, for this year, but we're gonna come back next year.
Absolutely. We'll be here with you guys next year. Dai, I appreciate you talking with us. Good luck in the race today.
Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Kyle Swan. I'm here with Kyle Mohan from Long Beach, California. Kyle, thanks for joining us.
No problem, thank you.
So, you guys came all this way for this race.
That's right. We're happy to be out here. We got a lot of support from our sponsors, Mazda, Cooper Tires, Circuit City. We're really just happy to be out here. We ran the first round in Long Beach, which was our home track, and unfortunately we had some suspension troubles, but we made some great adjustments. The car's rocking, and we're really looking forward to attack the track out here in Atlanta.
Great. I'm looking forward to see this. I've only seen stuff like this on TV. This is my actually first time to come to a real live race. Tell me a little bit about the car. What makes these cars different than the ones we see drive around every day?
Well, that's the nice thing about drifting is they really are based off of our production cars that we do drive around every day. Most of the parts off of my car, for example, are off-the-shelf parts that the average person can walk into an aftermarket shop and, with a little money and time, they can build one of these cars. It's not something that really has to be done by a professional race shop per se. It is nice to have that professional input. The biggest differences I'd say are mainly, we're ripping all the smog stuff out and all the weight, anything that has anything to do with weight is coming out. Currently my car weighs in at about 2,400 pounds and it's making 412 horsepower at the wheels. So I mean, there is a slight difference between the cars you drive around on the street and the cars we're driving, but essentially it's the same chassis. Very similar, we're not allowed to modify suspension components. We're only allowed to really use the parts that are specified. But in comparison, drifting comparison to other aspects of racing, we have a lot more leeway in amount of motor modifications we can do. There's no real limits to, suspension mods like spring rates and sway bars. We're just not allowed to hack the cars up.
What about increasing power? What do you guys use? Can you use turbo, nitrous?
Yeah, turbo, nitrous, supercharger, a really high-strung NA motor, whatever you want. Man, I like the rotaries. They're a nice high RPM motor. I work at Mazda Tricks. I build the motors. That's kind of why I went with it. I feel it's a real good motor for drifting. They have a lot of RPM, a lot of power band, and I think that's very crucial to drifting. Most of the guys out here are running turbocharged cars in at least the 400 horsepower range, and it has a lot to do with the control you have over it. And the power, not like a drag car where it's all power and not like a road race car where it's primary, you need to be able to control it. You combine a drag car with a road race car and you got a pretty good drift car.
There you go. Now I've seen pictures of this track from the air and stuff like that. Does this drift race use the whole entire track or they've got sections of it set up? Because I know you guys get going on a long straightaway. Taking those corners is going to be pretty tight.
Yeah, I personally wish they would let us run this whole track. It's absolutely beautiful. But we usually use a section of most road courses or they build us a course. Here at Road Atlanta, we're using, I think, 3 turns, and we run them. We come down the hill, up, go around the loop, come back down where we started from, and back up the hill. So I think all in all we have 3 or 4 clipping points, which are basically the apexes we're supposed to hit, and we're judged on our angle, speed, initiation, how well it looks. Primarily though, there's a judging criteria we're being judged on, and a lot has to do with the speed you carry into the first drift and how well you maintain that speed, and then also how well you maintain a proper racing line. Obviously we're not out there just sliding around. There's a lot of control involved, and the matter of, first through 10th place is often, half a point. So.
Now, the sport, how long has this sport been around? I mean, I know it started off in the streets. Now, how long has it been on the circuit?
Well, it's been in the circuit in Japan for, I'd say, going on 15 years now, but it started very grassroots over here. When I got started here in the U.S., it was about 6 years ago, and I feel it was about the same level. Very grassroots, just a bunch of kids, me and my buddies, and some other shops, and we put on some events. And all of a sudden, it was just taking off all around us. And it's been a matter of everybody that was involved in the beginning. If you had your head on your shoulders and were paying attention, we're out here at the races now, and it's an amazing thing. I was just a regular kid out of high school, and 17, I got a job at a race car shop, and damn.
You're now the driver.
Yeah.
Now, if somebody else wanted to find out more about this, where can they go to look, or is there a special website for it?
Yeah, there's actually quite a few websites now. A few years ago, it was actually really hard, but nowadays, I mean, you can, an average person can take their street car out to an event, and they're sanctioned all over the U.S. Some of the best ones to look into are the Formula Drift Series, which they do hold practice events and events like this and stuff. There's Just Drift, which is more of a West Coast organization. There's Drift Day organization, which is a countrywide organization. They even make it into Canada. But essentially, if you want to get involved, a rear-wheel drive car, 1 extra set of tires, and a helmet. You don't need anything else. Just go and have some fun. We also have a Team Drift series that's going on this year that I'm competing in with the Mazda team, Mazda Circuit City team. We got 3 drivers, some beautiful Mazda cars out there, and that's going on with the IndyCar kart races across the country. So we're sanctioned with them, and it's a really nice tie-in. After they usually do the race on Sunday, we get a half an hour out there to show what we got, and we're getting judged as a team. And it's just great exposure for all of us Formula D drivers, and it's a great outlet, being in front of 100,000 plus people.
I appreciate your time, Kyle. Thanks a lot. Good luck today.
Yes, thank you very much.
After walking around and seeing all these very high-performance machines, we get down here and I find the coolest machine of all. Not only can I ride around without getting tired, I can keep my beer cool in here, man. I'm with Chuck Miller from Austin, Texas. Chuck, tell us a little bit about what we got going on here.
This is the world's fastest ice chest. This thing will do 13 miles an hour, hold 27 cans, and an 8-pound bag of ice.
Man, now, where'd you get this concept?
Well, I actually work for the inventor. I'm the manufacturer's representative. The guy that invented this lives in Austin. Our company is based out of Houston. His name's Kevin Beal. Basically, he was at a NASCAR event. He saw everybody pulling their ice chest, and he said, there's got to be a better way.
And here we go, a 3-wheeled, how many horsepower? Has it got nitrous in this thing?
No, actually, this is an electric motor that we have in here. We have 2 different versions, a 300 watt and a 500 watt. The difference between the 2 is that the 500 watt is going to do 0 to 13 faster, if that's not fast enough for an ice chest. And then basically the other difference between the 2 that you should know is that the 300 is meant for a 180-pound rider or less, whereas the 500 watt is going to allow a 300-pound driver. And you're going to be able to tow on our cool wagon. It's called the Cooligan, another 300-pound rider.
Awesome, awesome. Now, if somebody wanted one of these machines right here, where could we go to look for them?
Cruisingcooler.com.
There you have it. Now, next thing I want to see this thing drift against some of these cars. I'm here with Samuel from the New Forms Mopar Drift Team. Samuel, thanks for talking to us today.
Well, thanks for having me.
I see you've got one of my favorite cars in the world right here. Tell me a little bit about the Dodge.
This is a Dodge Charger SRT8, and we put a 392 engine in it, and we're running a GS Motorsport Supercharger, and it's just pulling out around 750 horsepower or more or less, depending what we want.
Tell me a little bit about how you got involved in this.
Well, from 8 years old, I started to drive on frozen lakes above the Arctic Circle in Sweden. Growing up with snow 7 months per year, it came very natural to go sideways. Even my mom was going sideways on the way to the grocery store, so it was like, okay, that's how you do it. So from doing that and getting involved with the rallycross, and I was a dirt bike rider, I did a lot of things, but I moved over to the States 2001, and I was working as a racing instructor. Heard about drifting 2003, that it was a group of Japanese guys coming over to introduce the sport. I thought it was a great match. I was like, this is what I've been doing for years. So I went to qualify, and I qualified actually #1 the first event, and a few races later, competitions later, Mopar was out looking for a driver, and they saw me, and I was fortunate, lucky enough, blessed enough to get a ride with them in 2004, and since then I've been with Mopar Drift Team.
Now, tell me what standings you have for the last couple of years. I've heard a couple of things. Now, clarify me on this.
Yeah, I was the inaugural drifting champion 2004. We were the runner-up 2005, and then I got the championship back 2006 with the Viper SRT 10 that Mopar have been sponsoring me with, and we were running the Beef Goodies KW tires in the last year too. So it's great support from amazing sponsors, and being with New Forms Racing, it's just a great match, and we're really strong out there and bringing a lot of attention to the sport. So it's really cool to see the sport just taking off. The Formula D series is awesome to be part of.
Great. You got a great sponsor. You got a great automobile. Good luck tomorrow on the race.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for having me. Drift you later.
Seen a lot of great racing today. American muscle, foreign muscle, independence, racing ice chests. We're going to go check out some more racing. Thank you guys for staying with us and watching today. I want to say thanks to Rockstar Energy Drinks for having us. I'm Kyle Swan with Web 2.0 Television.